Hey everybody, I'm Victor here at Dapper Dash, and on today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to work with Page Navigator. We're going to be building a very simple but very elegant way for your users to navigate across your report pages. So here I am in a brand new Power BI report. This should make it very easy for everyone to follow along. All I'm going to do is I'm going to do some basic formatting of my page. I'm just going to add some background color. I'm going to make my page a little bit gray, and I'm going to go ahead and insert a rectangle at the very top. So just a generic rectangle that comes pre-built inside of Power BI. And I'm going to style that a little bit, remove the border. And I'm just going to change the color to a simple black that I like to use here. Now the next step is to go ahead and add a few pages, just so that we have a few pages to work with when we build that Page Navigator. Now, if you've never worked with a Page Navigator before, you can find it up in the Insert tab at the top. Go ahead and go to Buttons, Navigator, and Page Navigator. And what you're going to see is the default Page Navigator that Power BI creates. I'm going to go ahead and just resize it a little bit. And this is really where we get that opportunity to add your own custom touch to the Page Navigator that you want to build. So for this one, I'm going to change the shape and the style of it. For the shape, I'm going to select a pill, and I'm going to make sure that I don't have any sort of borders selected around it. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the style. Now, for my default, I do want to remove the borders here on the style, and I always like to use this DIN font here. I'm going to select a font size of about 11 here, and I'm going to change my default font color to something like a slight gray. Now, I'm also going to change the fill so that it matches my background ribbon. So I'm going to change the black that I chose earlier. And as you can see, this is what my Page Navigator looks like right now. I don't really like this hover effect, so we're going to go ahead and start to tweak this a little bit, but it's already looking pretty nice. So let me go ahead and change the hover effect. So I'll click back on the Page Navigator. Under the settings, I will go to the hover effect. Now, anytime I hover over the Page Navigator or I select an option, I actually want the font to be fully white. Sorry, I apologize. I want the text to be white, but I want to make sure that the fill color is the same as my background. That way, when I hover over it, all that changes is the color of the text, not the background itself. Okay, so going back here, the only other items that I need to change is when I press a button here, what kind of behavior do I want? And when I press the button, I want the background color to remain black, and I want to make sure that my text is the same gray that I used before, which I believe it is. And now the last thing I want to fix is when I'm on a specific page, I want the Page Navigator to stand out a little bit so that the end user knows exactly what page they're on. So we're going to apply the settings now to our selected state. And the first thing I noticed is that my font is not what I had set it to earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to that DIN, that DIN font. And I'm actually going to make it a tad bit larger than the default size, just to give an emphasis on which page I'm on. The font color, I'm going to make sure it is white. And then I am going to change the fill so that it stands out a little bit more. I'm going to change it to a gray color. And so that's a lot better. So now when I click away, you can see there's no doubt I'm on page one, but I do have this option to click among other pages. Your users should be able to hover over this and see that these are links that'll take them to another page. Now, if we were to test it out right now, it'll take us to a different page, but remember our other pages are completely blank, so it's not really helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete the other pages right now. And with those pages deleted, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that first page. That way all of my formatting and my Page Navigator is already in place. And all I have to do now is rename my pages. So I'm going to say maybe this is my home page, my sales page. This is a page for finance. And then my last page is my data page. And so as you can see, now I can click on the buttons, go home, go to finance, and I'm able to navigate my report in a much simpler and nicer looking way. And honestly, that's basically it. All that's left for me to do is to publish this out on the server and then to make sure that it's working. But there is one final step that you have to do. If you were to publish the report like this, unfortunately, you're still going to have that page navigator that Power BI sets by default. So if you remember this report here, I have the Power BI page navigator, but I also have the custom navigator that I've built here. And this is too confusing. This isn't what you want. So let me show you how to fix that. What you need to do is you need to hide all of the other pages except for your home page. So if you hide these pages, then Power BI will get rid of that page navigator as long as you leave that first page unhidden. And let me show you what difference that makes. So remember, if you don't hide the pages, you're gonna get this navigation pane. And this is what we're trying to get rid of. But once you hide those pages, you're going to get this look here, right? No more page navigator on the side here. Now you're using the custom one that you have built inside of your Power BI report. And this is a lot simpler for a user to follow. And that's it. That's the tutorial for today. If you stuck around this long, let me show you a few of the other ones that I've built just to give you some ideas of what you can do with Page Navigator. So of course we have this one that I'm already on. This is nice, especially if you like that page navigation to be vertical, like on one side of the page as opposed to running across the top. But if you love that top navigation similar to some web pages, so a lot of web pages do this kind of navigation here, then you can do something like this. So if you're a fan of maybe this style where the page navigation goes at the top, then you can always go ahead and mix and match the colors, and you can get something like this lighter style where I have a purple color or a green or a red and a white banner at the top instead. I hope this tutorial was helpful. I hope it gives you some ideas on how you can work with Page Navigator. If you learned something, be sure to support the channel, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. And honestly, the biggest help is to just interact in the comments. Reading some of people's comments is honestly how I've learned a lot of the Power BI tips and tricks that I do. Please feel free to let me know how you've worked with Page Navigator. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll try to address them. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.